brothers and sisters. The Lord done showed me freedom in a vision. He done told me that one day we're going to rule this land. Our own army, our own government, our own nation. But we've got to take it. We've got to take Southampton, Virginia, one plantation at a time. Now I know that we ain't no killer, and we ain't no murderer like our captors, but we got to take lives to save our lives. Too many times I done seen my sisters and my aunties beaten, whipped, and killed by white men. Too many of my uncles and brothers had their necks snapped by a lynch's rope. And in my heart, I cried out, no more, never again. And now, the Lord done told me, he came to me and told me, he said, Prophet Nat.
All right now.
Prophet Nat Turner, gather up all the Negroes from the plantations, free your people, and slay all the inhabitants. As David slew Goliath, and Samson slew 1,000 Philistines with a donkey jawbone. We will slay the white man, rebuild our empires, and free our people.
Yes.
But our freedom will be as painful as our captivity. But now's the time. Though slavery was abolished, the wrong and injustice perpetrated against my people did not cease. Yes, the Negro was free and henceforth had to make his own way into society. He had none of the provisions of self-preservation or self-protection. He was free from the old slave master, but now a slave of a society. He was free from that old plantation of masters, but now all he had beneath his feet was the dusty road to walk. He was free from the old slave quarter that was provided for him and gave him shelter. But now he was a slave of the frost of winter and the rains of summer. Now at first I saw no way of bettering the condition of my newly freed brethren. I, Frederick Douglass, saw no way out of this situation until I realized that he must first have the battle. So I set forth with all the fervor and energy that I possess to obtain this new freedom for the newly emancipated millions.
Is God dead, Frederick?
Not the true and living God.
All right then.
Hush. You better hush. Somebody's calling my name. Hush. You better hush. Because I hear somebody calling my name. Hush. You better hush. Somebody's calling my name. Oh my
always be having a good time. I would like for you to follow us on a trek through the first half of the 20th century. We would like for you to be our guest here at Ricky's Place in Harlem, New York, for a veritable explosion of jazz and blues singers, the greatest singers in the first 50 years of America. We will have some of the singers that inspired the singers of today. But before we get into jazz and the blues, which is my pleasure to be the master of ceremonies for, I would like to have a special tribute to the music that inspired the jazz and the blues. The music that came out of slavery. The music that came in between quick naps and short snaps. The music that I heard wafting over my cradle when I was a child. The spiritual music. All the music came out of. And I would like to make a tribute to a lady who I can only think of as Mama, because from the moment I was born, I remember this lady singing her mellifluous melodies to me. She was the definition of the spiritual. She was a lady unparalleled as far as I'm concerned. She was amazing. Miss Mahalia Jackson.
Tonight will be done with the troubles of this world, with the troubles of this world, with the troubles of this world. I said tonight will be done with the troubles of this world. I'm going home to live with my Lord.
I ain't necessarily always been spiritual, but that would keep me in church. Now I would like to introduce a man who inspired all black men, all colored men. In the early part of the century, this man charted his own course. This man who was a Rhodes Scholar. He was an all-American football player when you couldn't even play football for no white college. He was a Hollywood movie star in the days when you couldn't even go to the movies. This man, who was so strong they ran him out the land, but when he was gone, his influence was still on us. Because I could not go without hearing that melodious baritone. My brother, my uncle, my father of the spiritual, Paul.
Here comes in better run night. Better look out, children, in far behind. Oh, Cindy, you can find no Satan anywhere. Oh, run, little children, run, 'cause the devil done loose in the land.
Run, little children, run, 'cause the devil done loose in the land.
Run on down to the Jordan River, plant your feet on the rock of ages, 'cause
run on down to the Jordan River, plant your feet on the rock of ages. Run on down to the Jordan River. Plant your feet on the rock of ages.
'Cause the devil is loose. Yes, the devil is